begin here at 5 o'clock with some developing news out of the Pearl District in Portland. A physical fight leads to at least 3 people shot in the neighborhood. All went to the hospital in private cars, and police believe none of the victims have life-threatening injuries. Police say this was not a random attack, and it is still under investigation. We'll continue to bring you the latest information and updates on air and online at kgw.com. Local doctors say this weekend could be the turning point. Hospitals are struggling to care for sick COVID patients, and some are already using mobile morgues. And people who need other serious surgeries can't get them because there's no room. Galen Etlin hears from those on the front lines who say you can make the difference this weekend.
Across Oregon, more than 1,100 people are in the hospital with COVID-19.
Worst we have been during this pandemic.
Dr. Matthias Merkel has worked at OHSU for 17 years. His team has handled the most severe COVID cases, with transfers from other hospitals doubling since Wednesday. They've had to rearrange resources to increase ICU capacity from 80 to 92 beds. They're almost full again.
How are you feeling through it all?
Honestly, the last 2 or 3 weeks were the most stressful in my entire career. For most of this pandemic, we were hoping we would not see this in Oregon, and now it's there.
This is just a nasty, nasty disease.
CEO of Salem Health, Cheryl Wolf, says the situation in her hospital is dire.
We're losing this battle. Our anticipation, based on what we've already seen, is that we won't have enough room for all the people that pass away in the next couple of weeks.
We're definitely at capacity.
Jennifer Gentry says Providence, Portland is already using this truck as a mobile morgue when the hospital morgue and funeral homes are full.
And we will honor that as a sacred space throughout our need to utilize them.
OHSU and Salem Health both have similar plans as deaths increase, but have not had to use mobile morgues yet. Oregon Health Authority says about 84% of new COVID cases are among people who are unvaccinated, and breakthrough cases for vaccinated people almost never end up in the hospital.
Get vaccinated today.
For Dr. Merkel, the reality is clear.
We're talking about real people getting sick, real people dying, real people taking care of these patients. What is your message to the community?
Everything you decide to do on this Labor Day weekend will impact how our health system look in 10 days.
He and other health professionals ask everyone, regardless of vaccination status, to mask up and stay distanced.
We have no definite treatment for COVID-19. So the prevention is the best we can all do.
Oregon's overwhelmed healthcare system now braces for the holiday weekend's impact. Galen Etlin, KGW News.
Our other big story tonight, it's the day college football fans have been waiting for. After a long 22 months, fans are back in person at Autzen Stadium to watch the Oregon Ducks take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. But as Christelle Coomway tells us, they had to come prepared to show proof of vaccination.
It's a big day. It's an exciting day. For the first time since 2019, Duck fans are allowed inside Autzen Stadium, but only if they can show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
You're going to want your ID and your vaccination card or your negative test results. They'll check that first, and then your ticket before you go.
Thousands of Duck fans with masks on hand flocked to Autzen Stadium in Eugene Saturday morning for the big game.
Go Ducks!
Ed and Sharon Rensdale wouldn't have missed it for anything. They came dressed for the occasion.
We've been season ticket holders for 26 years now, and we come through most of the games in the 80s before we bought the season tickets.
These longtime Oregon fans are not fazed by any of the safety measures. In fact, they agree with them.
Because I have health issues, and as much as I love the Ducks, I would hate to have to come here and worry about my health issues.
So this policy, I hope it works out and that there's nobody here spreading any COVIDs. Go get your vaccine and come here in 2 weeks.
Those who couldn't provide proof of vaccination had to show a negative test taken within 3 days of the event. Toby and Chanel opted for that option.
To keep everybody safe and healthy. So I agree with it. We got our test Wednesday, just to meet the 72-hour mark.
I don't mind the testing or the vaccination if that means that we get to be back at the game in the stadium.
The pair came up from California for their very first duck game experience at Autzen Stadium.
Man, it feels great. It feels great. It's been a long time, a year and a half without football, and we're just glad to be here, happy to be here. Love seeing the green and yellow. Let's go Ducks.
A long-awaited football season for many fans. Christelle Kumwe, KGW News.
In just about 20 minutes, we'll have full highlights from today's game. That's with Orlando coming up in sports. Meanwhile, in Soccer City, tonight's Thorns match against the Washington Spirit will be postponed due to COVID concerns. The National Women's Soccer League made the call, tweeting that at least 4 people in the Spirit organization tested positive for the virus. The Thorns announced that they're working with the league to reschedule once health and safety protocols have been cleared, and more information will be announced in the coming days. Portland will travel to North Carolina next weekend. All right, let's talk about that forecast. Labor Day weekend is here, which kind of feels weird to say. It just went so fast, but Mother Nature shining down on us.
Exactly right. We're seeing a lot of blue skies here in the metro area. It took a couple hours for that smoke and haze to clear out, but if you're on the east side of the state, it's completely different. So let's go out to the Rose City right now. This is from a Rose City camera. We are seeing a little bit of some hazy conditions. The more south you go, but just some high cirrus clouds out there this afternoon. Temperatures were in the mid to the upper 80s. We're looking at a reading right now of 87 degrees. Yeah, over the next couple of days, we'll start to see your temperatures warm up a little bit. Now, as we look at the air quality, like I said last night, it's definitely going to be taking a hit in a few locations over the next couple of days. Not in downtown Portland, but we are picking up some yellows throughout the area. And you travel east a little bit, you're picking up some reds. It's the unhealthy category. And down in parts of southern Oregon, it's very unhealthy. And that's going to be the case here the next couple of days as that smoke and haze just sits over the basically the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley and into Bend and Redmond and throughout the high desert. And speaking of the smoke throughout eastern Oregon, this is a live look from our Mount Hood Timberline Lodge camera. You can kind of see that smoke and haze just sitting over there as you look kind of east a little bit. Well, temperatures right now are in the upper 60s. It'll gradually improve in our area really in the next couple of days, but it's still going to be kind of lingering around in a few locations. So as we put the Futurecast smoke model into motion, you can kind of see where it gets really bad, and that's going to be the case over Bend and Redmond. And because of that, there are some watches and warnings. Their air quality alert is still in place throughout the high desert, again, because of that smoke and haze. And again, it's not going to really lighten up any bit heading into the holiday weekend. You're going to have to wait till the early part of next week before we start to see some of that smoke clear out. I'll talk more about your holiday weekend forecast here locally in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks for the update. Well, the Washington County Sheriff's Department wants to remind you about the dangers of driving under the influence after one of its deputies was struck by an alleged drunk driver overnight. The sheriff's office says 2 deputies were investigating a DUI this morning just before 3. When they were placing the suspect in the back seat of the patrol car, a truck crashed into the back of the vehicle. One deputy got out of the path of the vehicle. The other was thrown about 6 feet. The person being loaded into the patrol car was not injured. That injured deputy was taken to the hospital and is now recovering at home. Washington County Sheriff's Office says they'll continue to enforce impaired driving this holiday weekend.